What's going on, guys? You know who it is, djwoopig, and today we are inside of a trailer. This is a trailer owned by one of my good friends. It's not mine, but it's very similar to my trailer. I own a 8.5 by 16, 8.5 wide, 16 long Spartan. I think it's a Spartan trailer, and this, I believe, is the same spec. I do think mine's a little bit taller, but I haven't measured it, but basically the same. And today we're going to be installing some E-Track into this trailer. Now, if you've never installed E-Track, it's super simple. It's a super simple process, and it's going to make your life a lot easier, because a lot of the trailers come with these D-rings installed in the floor, and you've probably seen some videos where other guys have installed more D-rings so they have more tie-down points. But what E-Track allows you to do is take the entire wall and turn it into a tie-down system. They make lots of accessories for E-Track that you can hold wood or hold cable or whatever, but it's pretty much the most common I would say tie-down system for enclosed trailers. And it doesn't matter if it's a trailer or a U-Haul or a Penske, all of them use E-Track, and they use it for a reason, just because it's so simple. The E-Track tie downs, the actual like ratchet straps, are a little bit more expensive, but you can also get like E-Track to D-ring converters and still use whatever tie downs that you may currently have. But E-Track's going to make your life a lot simpler. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to install E-Track on the wall, but we're going to do top and bottom E-Track. So one run down low, and then one run a little bit higher to maybe catch some taller things in the trailer, or just to have it more secured. I always have like high and low points in mind, just because you don't necessarily always have like road cases that stack tall, so it's good to have a high and low system, and if you can afford it, or if you need it, a system that runs down the middle of the floor too. That's basically it. Because this is a 16-foot trailer, I ended up buying 8-foot sticks of the E-Track. Again, these are just from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description down below. But what we're going to do is we're going to, again, mount a low and a high. And the best frame of reference to go off of is these trim pieces that they have installed. They're already level. You can just sit your E-Track on top of it. Phone is always ringing. You can sit your E-Track on top of it, and it's going to be level, and then you're just going to screw it in. So as you can see, these silver screws are directly going to the frame, these ribs right here of the trailer. That is where you want to put your most emphasis on screwing directly into those. If there's not a hole there, you need to make one so you can screw it in, because the rest of the trailer behind this wood is hollow. So if you're not securing your E-Track to the frame of the trailer, once you start putting some torque on it with your straps, it's going to pull right out. Another thing that I'll kind of let you guys in on whenever it's finished is you don't need to put a screw in every hole in this application. Actually, what that's going to do, because the ribs of the trailer are so far apart, and kind of the metal bone structure of the trailer, if you put a whole bunch of holes as it kind of lines up on the trailer, it's going to make that wood a little bit weaker. So instead of putting a screw in every hole, we're going to do every other hole, or maybe even every 3 holes, because again, once you start putting a lot of holes in this, it's actually I don't even think it's 1/4 inch wood. It's pretty much just a facade to cover up the wood. But once you start putting a lot of holes in that, it's going to weaken the integrity of the wood itself. So you only want to put screws in where you deem necessary. In this application, it's going to be every 2 holes or every 3 holes. So let's get started. Measure once, cut twice. I'm kidding, measure twice, cut once, but in this situation, really we only need to line up where the E-track is gonna go, make sure that it's gonna fit, and we may need to do a little cutout on this wood here just to make the E-track slide in, but we can just notch that and then it'll still have this nice appearance with these trim strips. So let's get started. So here's what I'm kind of talking about on these ribs. Now it's lined up perfect, looks great. We're just gonna put some holes in there, but we need to get rid of this so it sits flush. So we're just gonna make a mark, notch it, and then this thin wood should just pop right on out of there. All right, one thing I have noticed with my old bald head, it gets hot real fast. Anyway, for screws, we're gonna be using the Tex like 1/4" drive. This is a number 12 by 1, as in 1 inch. And it's got that little rubber like washer. Let me see if it will focus. Will it? There we go. It's got a little rubber washer, back out of focus. It's got a little rubber washer on there. This is what they used to attach like tin roofs to houses, so metal to wood, which is what we're doing here today. And I like to, once I put these in, again, this may not work on your trailer because it's a 1 inch. You got to know how thick your walls are. The last thing you want to do is punch a hole in a brand new trailer. But what I'm going to do, you see we got this notched out. It's going to look really nice. So I'll go through and put a couple of these in just to make sure that that it's nice and secure, but I won't put them all in until we kind of get it all marked and know it's going to work. And then I'll go through and put the rest of my screws in the holes. But right now I'm just going to put these in just to kind of keep it secure, and then we're going to continue on with this run here. So as you can see, we're at the end here, but we've got a little overlap right here. So we need to chop this off. Don't go like right down the middle. That's just more metal for you to have to cut. Come to your closest rib in the loop here and cut here. We're going to be using an angle grinder. Should make pretty good work of this fairly quickly. We just need to make a cut here and cut there, and we should have our piece that we need. Just a little bit of a reminder, I know I look a tad ridiculous, but whenever cutting anything, especially metal, safety first. You only got one set of eyes. This is something that I wouldn't even thought about a year or two ago, but now I got a kid. I'm trying to see that kid grow up and not go blind from installing E-track in a trailer. So always safety first. I don't have any gloves. I would say put some gloves on. I don't have gloves, but at least I got glasses, right? There we go, finished product. I put the cut in here on the end, that way we wouldn't have any like metal shavings sticking out for somebody to snag something on. But as you can see, it's about done. We just got to do this 3 more times. Same process for this wall at least. I'm gonna go right under this strip here. That should be easy, a good line for me to go off of. And then over here, we're gonna have to do a little bit more cutting, but basically the same process. All right, so we got all of the E-track installed. As you can see, there is bolts or screws every other hole. A little bit more of a close-up, every other hole. And then what we ended up doing in the front, where the V nose of the trailer is, we simply just put one center strip kind of in the middle. So it's a good height. It's at 3 feet, so that should be able to give some strap down area to stuff that's up in the V, because as you can see, it's kind of hard to stack stuff. Look at that line in the wood there. That's kind of where it squares off. You can't do much with this space, so why not make it usable by putting a center strip there. But we got high and low E-track strap. It only took about it really only took about an hour and a half. Once my allergies are kicking my ass. But once I got started, it really didn't take long at all. Now we're going to put in the LED lights. I may have to come back another day for that one, though, because I just don't have time. So I'm going to pack up what I have now, and then we'll pick up in the future, probably a day or so, and we'll get these LED lights installed and the backup lights, and we'll be done.